friends. We're back at Lake St. Clair Metro Park for a walk on the nature trails. Here we go. The ducklings and their mommy are swimming in the vernal pond. Aren't they cute? Over here you can see all the duckweed that has come up from the bottoms of the vernal pond for the summertime. Isn't it amazing how fast ducklings can go when they want to? So here we can see there's duckweed up on the path, and that's because the water level must have been up here a while back from all the rain, and now the water level has sunk down, but the duckweed is still up here on the path. So we can tell how high the water has been, even though it isn't that high anymore, just from the markings of the duckweed right here on the path. Last time we were here, the cattails are small, and so were these irises that you can see blooming purple here, right at the side of the marsh. They've definitely grown up, and there's a lot more duckweed too. So here's some duckweed on my finger. You can see it's very tiny little leaves. It's a very tiny little plant. And it has little roots that go down into the water. They're very small, and they help the plant get the nutrients it needs, but its leaves are so tiny. So it's Michigan's tiniest plant out there covering the pond. So last time we were here, there were no leaves on any of these bushes, and they were definitely not covered by flowers, but they were full of birds, and we could hear the birds singing. We can still hear birds singing, but now we can see all the beautiful flowers that are covering all those tall bushes. Wow, look at the flowers on this tree. Aren't they beautiful? Here we find a deer. It's back in those bushes on the other side of where we just were. And it's eating some of the plants down on the ground on that side of the bushes. And it's just seen us. You can see its tail just wagged there. That's the flash of white you saw behind it. It's a white-tailed deer, and it's a native of Michigan. It's not really afraid of us. It's just standing there having some dinner. Now we're walking down by another pond. Last time we were here, the cattails weren't this tall. We didn't see all these beautiful little white flowers from the teeny weeny little lily pads in the pond. We didn't see all these duckweed from the bottom of the pond up at the top. So it's amazing how much has come up since the last time we were here. But we can see that the meadow loop is still completely underwater. I don't think we'll be going that way today. Maybe I should have brought my big tall boots. Last time we were here, we saw some geese and a muskrat in this pond, but today, just all those pretty little flowers from those teeny tiny little lily pads, and they're all over the top of the pond. Aren't they beautiful? So here we are at my favorite bridge, and the pond looks a lot different from the way it did the last time. The cattails are tall and green. There's lots and lots of duckweed up. We can look down and see the lovely little lily pads, very tiny little lily pads with little tiny lily pad flowers down there. Those are the little white things. I don't see any amphibians or reptiles at the moment, but as we keep walking we might see one. I don't see my green heron friend either, but it is a little windy tonight, so maybe he's somewhere else. So you can see these old cattails, the brown cattails, in between the new green cattails that have come up. And those old mashed down brown cattails are what the red-winged blackbirds, and you can hear them singing right now, that's where they're building their nests, on top of those old mashed down brown cattails. That's why cattails are so important in the marsh. Can't see much but my reflection right now. It's dark down there, but the water quality is pretty good. It's pretty clear, even if I can't see into it right now. Lots and lots of duckweed. Right here, friends, there's a little damselfly. It's kind of like a dragonfly. It has a blue tip on the end of its tail, and its head is sort of a greenish color. Let me see if I can pull it back so you can see it better. And it is sitting right there on that tall piece of grass or sedge. It had a friend here a minute ago, but it flew away. I love this spot in the marsh. Oh, somebody just went under over there. Right now we can hear a lot of red-winged blackbirds. But I don't see anybody in the water right now. We're going to be very quiet as we move this way on the path because there are some swans right up here, sitting right in the middle of the path. And it's two swans, probably a mom swan and a dad swan, and they're cygnets. Cygnets are babies. Looks like there's a few babies. And you can tell that they are mute swans because their beaks are orange. That would be the invasive swan species. And their heads are a little bit brown from sticking their heads under the water to look for food. So we are not going to go this way because that would really bother the swans, and we do not want to bother the swans with their babies. Everybody looks like they're kind of sleeping, and the one swan is preening or taking care of its feathers. So we're going to have to turn around and go back the way we came so we don't wake up any baby swans and we don't make anybody upset. Sweet dreams, little swans. This plant right here is the milkweed plant, and this is the plant that monarch caterpillars would eat. It's not very tall right now, but it will get much taller. It'll probably get taller than me by the time it's done growing, and it'll have a lovely flower on it. It smells really good in the summertime, but it's just tiny right now, only probably as tall as my knee. Don't see any little caterpillars on it though. They shouldn't be here until a little bit later, when the plant's a little bit bigger. There's a big open stretch of water over here. There used to be a lot of Phragmites growing right here. Phragmites are the plant that kind of look like a cattail, but they have a big puffy thing at the top. There's some right there. Those are Phragmites. And they're an invasive species. They're not very good for the marsh because they don't mush down under the snow in the wintertime. So the red-winged blackbirds can't build their nests on them like they can on the cattails. So the park has been working to get rid of the Phragmites, so the red-winged blackbirds will be very happy and can build their nests. Down here in the mud, we have a deer print. It's that two-toed hoof print of a deer. So when you see this in the mud, you'll know if it's two little indentations like that, that's from a deer. And the deer was walking this way. There's another one up there a little bit farther. So we know that the deer was walking along the path right here, right next to the gravel. I wonder where it went after that. So you can see the water is way, way, way up. And in fact, you can see the waves from Lake St. Clair coming straight into the marsh. And that's what marshes are for, right alongside the big lakes. They kind of shelter the land from those waves. And they provide a sponge to soak up the water and prevent flooding. And they prevent wave damage. But you can see, you can't really go too much further on the boardwalk. Is under water. There's lots of red-winged blackbirds out here singing. You can see them flying around out here. There they go. So we're not seeing too many other friends out here in the water. Now right down here, right there, this green stuff right there is called algae. And that's the stuff that our tadpoles really, really like to eat. It's sort of like a plant, but it isn't really a plant. And people would say, ew, that's yucky stuff. But our tadpoles, oh boy, they think that's lunch. And they really enjoy that stuff. There's a lot of pond animals that would really enjoy to have a mouthful of algae for their lunch. Finally, we can see two lines of geese going over our heads, heading north. And out in the middle of the pond, there's a great blue heron standing on a log. You can see he has long legs, and he's a fishing bird. He would stand there for a long time, waiting for something yummy to come along, like a fish or a frog, and then reach out and snap it. But right now, he appears to be preening, which means taking care of his feathers. You can see this heron's legs now. You can see he's kind of a tall bird, long skinny legs, and you can see what he's doing with his beak. This is called preening, and preening is where birds take really good care of their feathers. They're making sure that all their feathers are all going the same way. They're making sure there's no dirt on them, no bugs on them. They're making sure that they're locked together to, keep the air from going through the wrong way so that they can fly properly. They're making sure they're waterproof so they don't get too wet. So birds spend a lot of time preening their feathers every day to make sure they're in tip-top shape for flying and for doing whatever else they need to do. Bye, Mr. Heron. Right outside the Nature Center, we can see this horse chestnut tree. Isn't it beautiful? Covered with beautiful pink flowers. And you can see that the leaves are arranged in little bunches of 5. But it makes beautiful pink flowers, and right underneath it are some lovely ferns. So this is the end of our walk at the Nature Center, which is a good thing because the bugs are starting to come out and I'm starting to slap bugs. That's me slapping bugs. I hope you had fun at the Nature Center today, and we'll see you next time on Fantastic First Grade Frogs.
Lots of bugs.